Hello. So as I mentioned in my last video, I have some empty space on my shelves to fill. So I had a good time this week picking out 6 new books to add to my shelves. Obviously I have way more space than that, but I didn't want to buy all of the books at once, especially if something else comes out that I'm really excited to read. And I try to kind of space my book buying out. I also like to go to places like Goodwill and like thrift stores to find books, and I haven't done that yet. And that's usually where I buy a lot of books just because books are expensive. So this week I went to Barnes & Noble, and I also ordered 3 books off of Amazon. I can't remember the last time I've been in a Barnes & Noble. Well, it's definitely been with my son. But I got to go by myself, and it was so nice picking out some books, and I actually took a few clips, so I'll insert those here. I'm here at Barnes & Noble because I have this, and I'm going to spend it on books. It's only for $25, so I'm afraid I'm gonna go over, but I have extra money just in case. I did have to walk in and see all of the 50% off kids Christmas books, and I was really tempted, but I decided that I was going to be selfish and spend the gift card on myself. My son has a ton of books anyway, but it still hurts a little bit looking back and thinking about all of the great Christmas books I could have gotten him. I also loved seeing a little shout out to Barbara Kingsolver, one of my faves. I talk about the Poisonwood Bible all the time, so I was excited to see that as a recommended book. I would have spent hours there, but I couldn't. But I looked for about 30 minutes and picked out 3 books that seemed interesting to me or that I had heard of before and heard good things about. The first book I got was This Is Our Story by Ashley Elston. This book is about a death that takes place. 5 boys go out on a hunting trip, 4 boys come back, and they refuse to say who shot that 5th boy. The protagonist's name is Kate, and she is interning at the district attorney's office. So her boss is a lawyer who actually gets this case, the boy's death, and kind of brushes it under the rug, doesn't want to investigate, even though there's evidence that there was something strange that happened. So Kate isn't going to let this go. She decides to take it upon herself to investigate, and you all know where that leads. So this sounded really interesting. This sounded like kind of a book that I would be interested in writing. It's similar to the book I wrote for NaNoWriMo in 2016. So I am excited to read it. It's also set in a small town, and I've been writing a lot about small towns lately. That's why I picked this one up. So it sounds good. It's also pretty short. I like books that you can finish in a couple days and like move on. I also like longer books, obviously, but sometimes a short book is nice. The next book I picked up is Little Monsters by Kara Thomas. I've seen this one all over YouTube, and it looked really interesting. The cover is pretty cool. So it's about a girl named Casey, and Casey is moving in with her father, her stepmother, her stepbrother, and her half-sister. Life seems really pleasant in this new town. She's having a good time. She's fitting in at school, but then there's this huge party. Everyone gets invited but her, and she is kind of confused as to why. But then one of her friends, one of the girls who befriended her when she moved there, went missing. It's not clear if she died or went missing, maybe on purpose. But then the image of the town kind of starts to crumble for her. That was my impression of it. So again, a really interesting concept. It seems like a really quick thriller, and I'm excited to read it. The third book I picked up, I've been hearing about since it came out in 2015, I believe. Six of Crows. So I have been on like a mystery thriller streak lately, and it's in the fantasy section. It does seem kind of like a mystery based on what I've seen. So if you do not know what Six of Crows is about, it is about a place named Ketterdam, maybe? Ketterdam is a place where a lot of trade happens, and therefore there's a lot of greed and corruption, and the main character is actually planning a heist. He is like a professional criminal, and he's planning a heist with a group of 5 other people, so I'm assuming they are the 6 that the title is referring to. I'm interested to read this. I've been wanting to read more YA fantasy and dystopian lately. It's just, I got kind of, after the Hunger Games, I just kind of got tired of it. But now I just want to read things that aren't serious, that aren't in our world. Our country is serious enough for me right now, so I thought that would be a good escape. It's also pretty thick, and I like that the pages are black. That's pretty cool. So if you've read Six of Crows and think that I should read this next, let me know. Next I have my Amazon Prime box that I have not opened it yet. I can't remember exactly what I got, but I have a pretty good idea. I know one of the authors' names is Jessica and one is by Holly Black, but that's all I remember. The first book I got is 180 Seconds by Jessica Park. It's way brighter than my face. So the protagonist of this story's name is Allison, and Allison was in foster care growing up. She's had a difficult life so far, but she is completing her 3rd year in college, and she is near campus when she runs into this social experiment that's going on. And in this social experiment that she ends up participating in, she is forced to interact with a social media star named Esben for 180 seconds, hence the title. And in that 180 seconds, something happens. There's a spark, there's electricity, something that they can't explain happens between them. So they set off to try to figure out, is it real? Was this just part of the experiment? So this seems like a good romance, like new age, because she's in college. I've really been wanting to read more new age novels recently because that's something that I'm interested in writing. And this seems like a good choice. And her name is Jessica, so can't go wrong with that. The next book I got from Amazon is You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I really tried avoiding buying serious, sad books this week because I feel like I just need an escape, but the Amazon reviews on this caused me to end up buying it. So this book is about 18-year-old twin girls. Their names are Adina and Tova. One of the twins wants to be a musician, the other one wants to be a surgeon. They both have big goals, and life seems to be going pretty well until they take a genetic test for Huntington's disease. And if you know anything about this disease, it is a degenerative disease, so it starts out slowly but then eventually ends in early death for most people who have it. It's a very sad disease, which is one of the reasons I avoided buying the book at first, because one of the twins does test positive for Huntington's. It is from both of their perspectives. It's a dual perspective, so I am really interested to read it. Sometimes you just gotta read sad books. Like, you're sad while you're reading them, but then you feel better afterwards and more grateful for your own life and your own health. The next book I got is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I really liked The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, so I knew that I enjoy her writing style and that I should give this one a chance because it is a new release. Yeah, it was released this year, so I was excited to pick this one up. So basically what this is about, based on the description, the story is about a girl named Jude whose parents were murdered when she was 7. Her and her 2 sisters were kidnapped and taken to live in the High Court of Fairy. The people, not people, but the entities of fairies are called the Fae, and so the Fae don't like humans. So this novel seems to be about Jude trying to fit into this high court and kind of having to be a little deceptive and treacherous to work her way in there. I don't know if it's a standalone like The Coldest Girl in Cold Town was, but it seems like it might be. So I'm excited to read this and I will let you know what I think. So those are the 6 books that I got. I'm currently finishing Turtles All the Way Down, which I took a break from because I'm very torn about it. But I don't know what to read next, so if you have any ideas, like of the 6, which one I should read next, please let me know. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.